This is Idiots with Opinions. Idiots may vary. Welcome back to a Thanksgiving special edition of Idiots with Opinions. I'm Todd.
And I'm Tuscan.
And we're here to talk about what we're thankful for. Tuscan, what are you thankful for?
I'm thankful that I'm inside right now, even though I have to go outside in a little bit, because there is just a blizzard going on outside. I did not think it was going to be this bad. I drove home last night kind of in the beginning of it, as it was dawning on us, and it is in full force right now. I figured it'd be over by now, but it is still rolling strong.
It's really not.
Todd?
It's not doing too bad here. Tuscan and I are actually just about 45 minutes apart, instead of the usual 8 hours apart.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, I'm thankful for technology because it's never failed me, and it would never do that because technology is reliable all the time. Big prank, it's not. Yesterday, Tuscan and I tried to record a podcast episode, and halfway through, it just my computer crashed, and we lost everything that I recorded. So that kind of sucked. And
that was discouraging.
Yeah, and it was the best episode you'll ever hear. It was better than anything you'd ever imagine.
Hear.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. It was it's a darn shame, but we ended up scrapping that. We went out and hung out last night. We got to see each other for one night before we both have to go back to class and take a bunch of finals. And I'm currently thankful that I am not doing that homework right now, but I will have to do it later.
Yeah, there will be a point in time where we're going to be less thankful of the time that we used this weekend to spend time with friends and family rather than work.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, it's always around this weekend that you get like way too much stuff to do to be like leisurely hanging out with your friends and family. It's just it's a bad time. But
I love how teachers always give out like extra homework because they're like, well, I'm not going to see you for 2 weeks, so might as well give you double the amount of homework.
Yeah, sure, why not? It's like, cool, I didn't have double the time though. It's not like, I mean, that's a logical fallacy. Just because I have double the break does not mean I have double the time. As a matter of fact, I often have less time when I have a long break.
This is true.
Yeah.
I really wish I could use the story that we covered yesterday. That would have been a great segue into that German kid not being able to drive. We had a story yesterday. I'll just briefly mention it. A German kid had his license for 49 minutes, and then it was taken away from him because he was clocked going, I don't know the kilometers per hour, but I remember that it was 60 miles per hour in a 30 mile per hour zone.
It was like 95 and a 50 or something like that.
He was driving home from getting his license from their equivalent of the DMV, and now he does not have his license.
Which is, I mean, I talked about it yesterday. I think it's just absolutely ridiculous. You got to let the guy just have a little bit of celebratory ride. Give him 1 day of free reign. And, we were talking about the Autobahn yesterday. Don't Germans have, like, no speed limit on those?
Yeah. Well, it's just one road. The Autobahn is
just one road
thing. It's not like a bunch.
I thought that was like a highway system. It's just one thing.
Well, it is a highway system. It's not like multiple. There's not multiple Autobahns. It's just one.
Right. It's like if you were in the U.S. and you were to get on an interstate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Todd, I have a story for you.
Ooh, I'm on the edge of my seat.
I might need to be a little bit censored. This is less Thanksgiving themed than you might have hoped, but here we go. So there's a woman out there in Louisville, Kentucky.
Of course.
And she moved in to an apartment with a parrot. And then she got this roommate named Steven, right? So, like, I think her roommate had a parrot, And then she had this other roommate named Steven who also moved into the apartment or something like that. Oh, no, it was her pet parrot. And then this Steve guy moved in. And he apparently started teaching the parrot a bunch of, like, short little quips of a sexual nature. So the parrot would, like, insult her daily. And it wasn't, I mean, reading through these, I really can't read these on the air. They're not family friendly. But it's not like, they're not insults per se. But the fact that it would say that like hundreds of times a day, because it's a parrot, it just keeps like saying the same thing over and over. So the fact that it kept saying that over and over and over drove her nuts. Apparently she called it sexual harassment because, I mean, it definitely was.
Yeah. So the parrot get in trouble or the guy?
Well, she's suing the guy because he taught the parrot these phrases. And I mean, like, she claims that, and I have no reason to doubt her, but she claims that the parrot caused her to isolate herself socially, and she started suffering from like this severe depression because of it. She dropped out of college. She began drinking a ton and apparently attempted suicide a couple of times.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, right? And so she's suing this guy for like $1.2 million over this parrot.
What a just like a a-hole who was just like, oh, you know, it'd be really funny if I just like taught this parrot this stuff, and then he did not know how extensive it would be.
Yeah. No, apparently, like, this guy moved out and, like, he stopped seeing it for years, but the bird kept doing it, right? And so,
can you
know, this guy,
like, teach a parrot to stop saying stuff? Or once it learns it, does it? So she just probably needed, right? You know what she needed to do? She needed to teach the parrot different things, so much so that the parrot learned too many things to not, like, use the mean insults as much.
See, I'd try to teach the parrot like compliments, right? Like every time you come home, the parrot like greets you with like a "Hello, handsome" or something like that.
Well, the best part about that is for this specific parrot, you wouldn't know if you'd come home if you're gonna get a compliment or just the worst insult ever.
Right.
You know, it keeps you on your toes.
Yeah. No, it's pretty brutal one way or the other. I mean, it's kind of a lose-lose scenario when you've got wild animals that are have been trained to harass you.
Well, you said it last week, man cannot tame beast. Or that was 2 weeks ago.
That's right, man. I think that was last week. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think we should be trusted with them. I think they're far too volatile for us. You know what I mean?
Volatile. So, you know what's also volatile, Tuscan?
What's that, Todd?
This mother who was very concerned about her son needing to go to the dentist. But this kid wouldn't get into the car, right? So this woman...
Right,
What?
Well, I did the same thing. I always freaking threw a fit. I actually remember when I turned 18, my mom was like, all right, it's time to go to, for your 6-month checkup. And I was like, I'm going to stop doing that. I hate the dentist.
I have never understood that. I like the dentist because I like having my teeth clean, like extra clean. Like they're always clean, but I want them to, make sure that my teeth are nice and healthy.
Yeah, but I don't care about that. I think my teeth look good, and I take good care of my teeth, and I don't need no dentist poking around in there and making my gums bleed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's always the same. You just go in. They say that you should start flossing more, and then you leave. I mean, it's nothing too harmful, but
it's always... See, the thing is, I hate those picks against your teeth, man. That's just... Oh, my God. The sound of it, just thinking about it makes me cringe and. Ugh.
Well, that's exactly what was going through this young man's mind when he was not wanting to go to the dentist. He said he wouldn't get in the car. He was 12 years old, and so he refused to just go into the office, and instead he climbed on the hood of this woman named Sharice Jones. This is the mother. He climbed on the hood of her car, and so she decided, well, he's on the car, so she started driving with him on the hood all the way to the dentist office because it was that much of an emergency that he got to the dentist's office.
Yeah,
so she drove.
Seems like a responsible mother.
Yeah, yeah. And she told the police when they found out that this had happened that she was only driving about 2 miles, but the speed limit on the road is 40 miles per hour. So.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So she is currently free on $1,000 unsecured bail. She had been arrested this Monday, but I mean now she's free, and they're waiting for an appearance in court. She said that this article says that a phone number listed for Jones's address was not working, so it has delayed the case slightly.
Yeah, that usually happens. You just can't get a hold of the client, and they go AWOL. She miss a court date because of that?
I don't think so, but the attorney has said there's not yet an appearance for Jones in the case because of that predicament.
Well, I mean, sometimes you make threats as a parent, and you kind of have to follow through with them.
You do,
right?
you do.
If your kid gets on the hood, and you say, "Well, I'm just going to start driving then," and the kid, tries to
right,
call you bluff.
Yeah, then you got to do it. You have to do it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you cannot be seen bluffing as a parent. And this woman seems to be she wants her kid's teeth to be clean. I am in the shoes of that kid. I know exactly how he feels.
I'm in the shoes of the mother because I want to drive a 12-year-old kid on the hood of the car.
Yeah. Well, you've ridden on the roof of my car before.
Shh.
That's happened.
Has it?
That was after we binged all those Fast and Furious movies, and we thought we were in one.
It was an interesting day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't had the chance, go ahead and watch all of the Fast and Furious movies in one day.
Back to back to back to back.
You could probably
tell me you won't go insane.
If you're gonna skip any of them, you could probably skip 1 through 3, and the experience would be the same. I think.
Really? I don't know. I think. Oh, man, they're all just real decent, but they're just so overproduced. As the franchise keeps going, it gets way more unrealistic, and the story gets way more out of it. But the cars and the racing and the visuals look way cooler.
The production value just skyrockets by I think Fast 5 is where it's okay, yeah, this is a movie now.
It's the mixture between the good story and then the actual cool visuals.
Yeah. I never actually saw I don't think I ever saw what is it? Was it Furious 7 and
Furious
then
7?
The Fate of the Furious?
Fate of the Furious, yeah. You didn't see Furious 7?
I haven't seen either of those because I know that's the one where Paul Walker was dead, right? In the 7th one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we just watched the first 6, and it was before the 7th one was on DVD or something.
Yeah, that was enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. No, that was too much, I would say.
That was when we were trying to do a bunch of different binge watching movies. We did a Star Wars. This was before the new Star Wars movies came out, but we watched all the Star Wars movies in one day.
I did a Lord of the Rings one.
Yeah, I did not partake in that one.
You weren't there for that. I think that was mostly just me and Nate. We watched all the Lord of the Rings. Or no, we watched the first 2 Hobbit movies, I think.
Did you not?
I think that's what happened.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You went to. I saw the last Hobbit movie with you,
Right, you
at
saw,
the end of your
yeah.
binge watch.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you were different men.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's amazing how engrossed into the story you get. You know, because like we watched the Star Wars in the order that has been recommended to us, right? Like we watched. We started with A New Hope, and then we went to Empire Strikes Back, and then we went all the way back to The Phantom Menace, then Attack of the Clones, then Revenge of the Sith, and then we finally watched Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That was a good way of watching it.
And we did that all in one day.
All in one day.
Before Force Awakens came
We
out.
thought that we were stunt drivers after Fast and Furious, but we thought we were Jedi after the Star Wars. But anyway, enough about our nerdy enough about our nerdy like movie marathons.
Yeah.
You want to know a good oh wait, it's your story now, right? You tell a story.
We're taking turns. All right, here we go.
I got a fan favorite story at the end of this episode.
Okay. Yeah. Why don't you close strong? Because I don't know about this story. So you might have seen this headline. I've seen this headline a couple times. It's been around for a few weeks. This one is in regards to an individual in Japan who's currently running the cybersecurity network there. And he was recently appointed, and he, did a press conference and an interview and all that stuff. And, people were asking him very specific questions about cybersecurity. Turns out the guy has never touched a computer before. Yeah,
I think I did see that briefly.
Yeah. He has no idea what a USB port is. He basically said his name is Yoshitaka Sakurada.
Nailed it.
Thank you. He apparently he's got like a bunch of people under him where he'll just like bark orders at them and they'll put stuff into computers, which I mean I should hope so, but I can't imagine they would even give this guy. I mean, what sorts of decisions, if not specifically computer-based decisions, does a cybersecurity minister have to make, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not even like Japan is a third world country that would have a large population that has not touched a computer before. I would think that most people in Japan have touched a computer.
As a matter of fact,
at one point in their life,
one of the most technologically advanced countries in the world.
Yeah,
when it comes to computers and robots,
it's the complete opposite. Yeah, they're leading technology.
So the question is, of all the brilliant Japanese people out there, why did they have to choose this guy who has no idea what he's doing when it comes to computers to run it?
You know what? I think that comes to show that it is possible to fake it till you make it. If you are an idiot with some opinions, you too can make it big until somebody figures out that you are an idiot. But you just got to keep faking it, and then you make it.
Just a side note: this Sakurada guy is also in charge of the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo.
No. What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can fake it till you make it, folks.
It seems that way, yeah. Well, I mean, he's been in Parliament since 1996. So he just seems like a regular career politician that they're finally giving like some titles to. And they'll give like a lower rank title like cybersecurity minister to some guy like this. And he'll be out there pushing for Japan's economic prosperity and supporting its historic culture or whatever. But he he doesn't seem to know much about what he's actually doing, which I feel like is a lot of career politicians, right? Like they just stand there and look good and smile, and then the work comes around and they have a bunch of people around them that tell them what to do, right? The smart guys are never the guys that run for office. It's always the guys behind the scenes that are, pulling the levers and making decisions.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Everyone you know is a lie.
Yeah. You just need a poster boy who can talk good.
Yeah. And mostly that can have a face that you want represented of the person that they're, or of the group that they're representing, you know?
Yeah, he's got to look good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or she, obviously.
Mm-hmm. That's why that's why Bill Clinton won the election. Played the saxophone.
Oh, man, I wish I could play the saxophone. That's a pretty cool instrument to be able to play, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's like of the non like rock band instruments, it's definitely the coolest instrument.
Oh, dude, but like you can totally make saxophone a rock band instrument. Like once you know, if you're any good at it.
But it's not
really
like
solo.
the normal guitar, bass, and drummer. Like those are like the main rock band instruments. But I'm saying like,
well, you
can
play the guitar. I cannot play the guitar. You even know a little bit about piano. I mean, you know where the chords are.
I do not.
I
barely know
a couple of songs.
I know one 4-chord progression, and that is it.
Well, that's most of what you need to know on most instruments, right? You just need to know like 4 or 5 chords, and you're pretty much set on that.
I mean, fake it till you make it.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Speaking of faking it till you make it, Tuscan, how old is your grandma?
Let's see. Both my grandmas are like in their mid-70s, and I have a great grandma that's in her mid-90s.
So those grandmas that are in the mid-70s, what do they do with their life? You know, what are they up to on a day like today?
Well, one of them just started a new real estate partnership, actually. She's been talking about retiring for many years, and now she's started a new real estate practice that she's going out and doing. And the other one is retired.
Okay.
And she mostly walks her dog, who has 3 legs and
wholesome.
is adorable. Yeah. Yeah, one of them was cancerous. They had to get rid of it. But he's doing well. You know, I just saw him, and he's as happy as ever. He's just kind of unstable. He falls over a lot.
Well, what if I told you that a 73-year-old woman was very worried about the actions that she was doing, very worried about the stuff that she was smoking, to be specific. So she brought her crystal meth into the doctor's office and asked if it was if it was safe. You know, she wanted the doctor to test her meth to make sure that it was safe, because she was worried what it was doing to her.
Back on meth.
Yep, it's meth and old
Idiots
people.
with opinions.
That's what people. That's what the people want.
That's our bread and butter, man.
This lady was not Russian, so we don't have that, or from Florida.
No, we don't have Russians.
But
Floridians.
But yeah. Well, actually, strike that. It is from Florida.
Of course she is.
Polk County, Florida. So we got the Florida in there. You know, we got a triple threat. Anyway, so yeah, she told her doctor that she's been smoking meth for about a month, but she was just kind of worried about what the influence of the drug was doing to her. And it appeared that when she was taken into custody, because I don't know if you know this, but meth is illegal, and so
but the doctor can't say anything.
Yeah, interesting. Well,
did
that's
she just
fair.
tell her? Yeah, I mean, she might have gotten caught with it at the hospital or something.
Well,
when she
I'm
was
not going to
transported
that
around.
doctor to test my meth.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
Isn't
but
there like a hippocampus code or something? What do they call that?
a
The
hippocampus code, doctor
No, it's
patient
like
confidentiality.
well, yeah. There's that, but there's a code that doctors live by, right? And it's like
the
it's
doctor's
hippo
code,
something.
the hippo code.
Yeah, the
I've never heard of
Himalayan-
such a thing.
I can't. It's some sort of Greek word, hence the hippo.
The hippos are Greek.
Well, hippocampus means seahorse in Greek, and I think
We have a
hippo-
seahorse in our head.
Yeah, well, yeah, because that the reason your hippocampus is called that is literally because it looks like a seahorse.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I'm
That's what
pretty
happens
sure
when you start naming things before you know what they do.
I'm pretty sure hippo means horse in Greek.
So hippopotamus must mean like fat horse.
I would not be surprised if that's what it was. To be completely honest with you.
Fat horse that is very, very intimidating.
So what? I mean,
Uh-oh.
so what happened to her once she got put into custody, though?
Well, she is supposed to be... Oh, she was released from jail November 7th.
Okay.
And it doesn't say a lot more. I've looked... I think I read a couple. The one that I'm currently using doesn't seem to be as in-depth as the other stories.
Well, how do you reckon a woman of that age actually gets into meth? I mean, is it like
That's the question. They're trying to
Right.
figure out. It says it was unclear how she obtained the drug or why she was smoking it. So I mean, it's not
Right.
even like how she got it, but why she had been doing it for that long.
right? Like,
I mean, I guess
who
once you try
introduced
it
her
once,
to
then-
meth.
I don't know.
Does she have like her bridge friends or like all smoking meth in the back room?
Dude,
Is that what's going on?
probably. Yeah. That's what the
I mean,
secret
that's
society of red hat ladies is.
Yeah, dude, they're all just meth dealers.
Yeah,
That's
they're like
gotta be
drug
it.
kingpins.
Oh man. Well, yeah. I mean, you've got all those opioids, right? That all these old people are hooked on.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then when that's not enough, or you can't get any anymore, I guess you turn to meth.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of old people are turning to heroin, but meth, I feel like, is a different.
Yeah, that's a different
deal
experience
altogether.
Yeah, heroin is like definitely an opiate, right?
Yeah.
But why meth? I mean,
Why
it does
meth?
have pain relieving properties, but it's not at all. I don't know. Definitely
I
not
mean,
safe. That's for sure.
It better be amazing. You know, I'm sure meth is just the best thing ever until you stop.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm sure that withdrawal process. I mean, we talked about that a few weeks ago.
yeah.
That withdrawal
We
process.
talked about
has
it
gotta
multiple
be
weeks, but
torture.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
just. But hey, yeah, what a stupid doctor. That was mean.
Yeah, I don't understand how she would have gotten arrested, though. Like, if you're a doctor, you can't say anything about your patient if they're doing something illegal unless that thing is going to kill somebody else,
Yeah.
right? Or if you fear for somebody else's safety in any way. Then you're obligated to report it to the police. If I were to go into my doctor and I'm like, oh, I've been, smoking weed, the doctor can't go to the police and say anything about that. They just need to be like, you should not do that. It's not good for you and for these reasons. Or, if you get the right kind of doctor, they're like, good, you should be. Here's a license. Go do more.
Do you think that he thought that, or the doctor, he or she thought that it was going to affect this lady or somebody else in her life?
I mean, that must be it, right? Like, if the doctor fears for this old woman's safety, or can somehow justify it, but I think that doctor, my non-expert opinion is that doctor should have his license revoked.
It said, she went to Complete Care Family Medicine Associates on November 5th, and she was taken to Bartow Regional Medical Center for medical clearance and then booked into Polk County Jail on 2 counts of possession of methamphetamine and 2 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia. So, I mean, yeah, it was definitely just somebody in the medical field ratted her out, snitched.
It must be, man. It must be some nurse or something like that that's like, hey, she's got meth, not just like in general, but like here at the hospital. Maybe that's the deal. Maybe they're like required to report illegal things happening in the hospital, but not if they like tell you they've done something illegal.
That's
know what
fair.
I mean?
Yeah, like if you're just smoking meth in the hospital,
right?
Then it's,
but
if it's like, hey, I'm tripping out on meth, then they help you with that.
Yeah,
you just gotta follow the code. We gotta look up this code.
You know who never tripped out on meth, Todd?
Who's that?
It's Carl Westberg again, Todd.
Oh, that's the one.
He's never once
dirty
done
devil.
meth. He doesn't take it to his doctor, and if he was a doctor, which he is sometimes on the weekends, he doesn't tell anybody. He sticks to his hippocampus code.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if you ever need to get your meth tested, you should go to him, because he knows what he's talking about. He knows, and yeah, exactly what you said. He's able to keep it confidential. He's got that code. He lives by a code, more codes than just the hippocampus code. But he has many codes that he lives by, and he's a honorable man.
Yeah. Well, give him a call. I'd give you his number, but he changes it every week, so you got to seek him out.
Yeah.
But if you want to contact us, and maybe we'll be able to pass a message on for you to Carl Westberg, go ahead and shoot us an email at studiosvolatile@gmail.com. We are also on the social media. We post sometimes. We are
whatever
on Twitter
Q's doing.
Right. We post on Twitter at Opinions That Suck, SUK, and we're on Instagram at Idiotic Opinions.
And I just want to give a quick shout out to everyone listening. Thank you so much for your support. We really appreciate being able to bring you happiness and joy every week, and we plan to do it for the rest of our lives until we die. That's right. What Tuscan told me.
Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. Safe travels if you're going home today. There's a blizzard where I am, so I would recommend against driving in that if you can help it.
So brace yourself for the snow, and brace yourself for the Christmas music that will be playing nonstop for the next 2 months. You're an idiot.
You've been listening to Idiots with Opinions.